Yo. Muerte has a pack with AVANT. They sent it to me, and I whipped something quick up for you guys so that you guys can check out some of these sounds. But most importantly, we're learning how to make dark, eerie chords like Muerte, learning some tips and tricks when it comes to music theory. Basically, we want to know how to enter the darkness, and I think I figured it out. I've been watching different things in his masterclass and trying to really dive deep into the theory that he's using. I want to show you guys some of the secrets that I learned. Keep in mind, this full project will be in the Patreon if you want to get it. There's about 2 presets and 2 samples from the Muerte pack, a kick and 1 bass shot, and 2 serum presets. You guys will get a little taste of the pack. Otherwise, you can go in the description to get everything. Let's go ahead and listen to what we got going on here. Oh, okay, and that's what it is. We are going to look into the intro, these chords, then we're going to get into some basses, how I layered everything, how to do the fills and stuff. Let's check it out. Music theory, fun time first. These chords are using dissonance to create that eerie, sparkly, dark feeling. The sparkly is actually coming from this ARP. We'll get into that soon. These saws are the basis. This is the most powerful instrument here, and it is an Ableton stock. This is saw elegant thick keys. The strings is also Ableton stock at Cruiser Strings, and then the ARP is Ableton stock at Cincha ARP. If you want to go ahead and load those up, the post-processing would be a saturator, hybrid reverb, EQ8, and a G-clip, and that'll be on all 3 of them here. So if you want to load those up, you can do that. But let's look at these notes here. So we're in C# minor. That means our drop, our basses, will be in C# minor. Before the drop happens, we have a dark, spooky, basically dark dissonant chords to set it off, and it's walking down the scale before we resolve or end up at C# at bar 3. When we're walking down, you'll see here C# is this note, big old long note, and these notes above it are walking down to it. So we actually utilize some of the notes that are not in the scale. That is what's creating the dissonance. And we're using it in 2 ways. We're walking down using it, and then we're also adding notes in right next to each other out of scale, which is creating more dissonance. But essentially, when you start like this, take the tops off. You know this is your root note, C#. You know that your drop is going to be running these notes the majority of the time. Then we're basically going to walk down these notes. So if you see C#, the 4th is the F#, so we're starting up at the 4th, and we walk down. We don't even walk down to our 3rd. We put it out of scale. We make it dissonant. Then we walk down to our 2nd, and then we walk down to this D, which is a semitone above the C#, and it's also not in scale, and it's dissonant. So already, we're doing 2 notes outside of the scale. We're going to copy the octave, highlight all of it. If you hold Option, then you'll be able to actually move it all the way up to the next octave. So we have another layer. Then every other chord will have dissonance. So the first chord here, we're going to insert this out of scale note. This is what it was originally. We insert this. And here there's a lot of tension, a lot of dissonance being introduced. And that's the feeling that we're going for. Even though it's at a scale, we still want to supply this feeling in this section. If we moved this and picked one of the voices that are in scale in the middle, it sounds happier. See that? So then we'll just make it dark, The next one is in unison, just two of the same notes playing, an F and an F. They're both out of scale, which is creating dissonance, but we're not adding that extra voice. So, super dissonance, unison, add in another right under, add a scale, another dissonance, and then boom, after this loop ends, it would resolve back at the drop, which is playing a C sharp. It ends up perfectly at its root note, and that's what we're trying to do. Awesome. Okay, so then the ARP, we're going to be making sure we use this cutoff. We're going to move it to 288 on the strings. The cutoff is going to be automating over time. So you see at the beginning, it's at 80 hertz. It's closed. And then over time, it opens up to 1.48 kilohertz. That movement is important. I was opening up like that. This one is the main instrument. And then the ARP is doing the same chords, same notes. But obviously, it's adding a lot more movement and a lot of high end. Really nice. All of these three have a saturator, 2 decibels of drive, a hybrid reverb set to 33%. It is stock, and then the EQ8 is cut at 147 naturally. G-clip is being boosted at 3.4 to make it a little bit louder. Then we add these three together to get a nice full sound. Don't forget your layers. If you see, there's a long tail at the end of this. So I had to cut it off, basically. I turn it off with this automation on the mute group so that it's just clean transition into the drop here. We got just simple perks, claps, drums right here. We're using that Muerte AVANT kick, really powerful, super fat. And then we have a nice cashmere clap layered with another clap layer. That's going to add a big tail, this perk, and this perk. Obviously, sidechain is turned on for those kicks. We have nice, clean pumping movement. Now we'll get into the cool new Muerte AVANT presets in Serum. I only had to use 2, and I really only had to use like the first couple because it was so perfect. We have B-Buzz coming in first. Naturally. And you can see my notes are the C sharp majority, and then I just go down to the next note in scale. And this little section I do like little fast sections. That's the thinking there. Just my Dripment loud rack number 1 right there. If you guys want to purchase my loud racks, are available for $7 on my website, dripment.com. Go get those. Right here, the B-Buzz is amazing because you can just simply move this cutoff knob, get lots of different tones. Check this out. So many different voices. Cool. So I don't even remember where it was, but all of them sound amazing. And you would really just want to blend them with this other one. So this one isn't B-Buzz. This one is going to be Bugs. If you look here at the Muerte pack, you can see we have a lot of nice, really high quality presets, but most importantly, you can really use them in a way to call them your own, just like how we move the format knob. A couple of these knobs have so much effect on the sound that you make simple changes and you create new sounds. It's amazing. A highly respectable gun is highly respectable. Right now we're using bugs. We're using just the first like 2 or 3 presets here. And this one, bugs, is used twice. So it's used first as a response bass, controlling the mid. This one's controlling like more highs, like talking up there. They both have mids, which are blending together. Nice blend. Now, if you see bugs is also making an appearance over here, we can call this 1.2. And you'll see bugs makes an appearance, but as a long boy. And all we had to do was simply change the LFO. If you look at all these different LFOs, there's a lot. You're just looking for the one that's on the level. So as soon as I see the ones that are on these levels, I know it's controlling the volume or the push and pull. I can simply move the rate down to a slow rate, which is 1 bar. And it'll play out longer rather than play like short. So yeah, that's how you can do that quick, fast, and make, like I said earlier, these presets your own. Boom. Then we have it layered with a bass one shot. There's a lot of nice bass one shots. Let's check these out real quick because he went in on this back like this. Oof. Oof. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is actually the one I use right there. I heard that, I was like, oh, it's a done deal, and I threw it in here. But for this sound, you see I pitched it -13 and I time stretched it. I use this ×2. If I go back divided, you'll see it go small. And then if I extend it, you'll see it sounds more like what we just heard. I just took the beginning of it, time stretched it, and then like made something new with it. But it still has all the sick dark tones. Then we can layer it with, I also layered it with the synth playing in C#. I had to transpose this, obviously. And then you'll see we have it go long and then short. Same bass one shot, but used in 2 different ways. Pitched, one at -13, and not time stretched, one at -13 and time stretched. Getting different sounds like that. Then what we're going to do is solo both of these. And then we resample it and record it into this. So I use the shifter to start getting different tones. I use the EQ8 to remove frequencies. This shifter is doing a lot. So if I turn it off, you know, that's the regular sound, this EQ8 tone. So that's the sound resampled. You hit resampling right here, solo, both of them together or the group that they're in, hit record on this, and then you'll be able to actually record it. So like you just hit record right here. And it starts recording. I'm going to undo because we are not going to do that right now. I'm going to show you how we modified it. We turn the shifter back on. I turned it to -12 in pitch. Made sure I fixed the delay. It's usually 80 milliseconds delay, so I turned that down to 10 so it's not delayed. And then I let the beginning ring out regular. Actually, the beginning is pitched up an octave, 12, then it goes back down to regular. So up an octave, regular, another regular, and then we go down an octave. These ones that are colored differently, I pitch the clips. So I pitch them even lower. So these are pitched down another octave. This is just adding like texture. It's filling up the frequency spectrum. It's adding like almost an atmosphere type of vibe. So if it's turned off, turned on, just add some extra darkness. I might be wondering what this is. This is a tape stop by kilohertz. If you automate the tape stop, you can have it stop rather than. We add the tape stop to stop everything except the vocals. That's essentially the gist of it here. You know, we have some simple drums and rhythm formation. We have the basses layered in a way to sound dark, nice, evil, and nasty. We have calls, responses, fills. The sub also is the main Dripment Sisto sub, so just watch that video if you guys want to get that. Otherwise, hit me up if you have any questions. I hope you guys learned a couple of things. Have a great day. Keep making bangers and stay fresh. Peace out.